The warnings on these cigarette packets are fairly explicit and they're accurate. Smoking is indeed very bad. Smoke from tobacco contains 4,000 different chemicals, 60 of which have been shown to cause cancer. They're carcinogens. Added to this are chemicals that lead to addiction. It's easy to start, but it's difficult to stop. In this experiment, we're going to try and simulate what happens when somebody smokes just one cigarette. There is a vacuum within this flask, a cigarette, and a lighter. What I want you to do is watch. Now that cigarette is just about out, and the vacuum flask has taken the equivalent of one big deep breath. And you can see the tarry deposits here in the glass tube and a lot of smoke here in what are the lungs. And of course, it's not just smoke particles. There are a variety of chemicals, one in particular, carbon monoxide. And carbon monoxide binds to the red blood cells and stops them carrying oxygen. And if you reduce the oxygen carrying capacity of the blood, the heart has to work harder and the body is poisoned. We've got a healthy, non-smoking male volunteer. We can record his blood pressure automatically, and through a sensor to this wristwatch, we can record the heart rate. And in fact, we've done that 2 or 3 times over the last 10 minutes. I can tell you that your average blood pressure was 122 over 70, systolic over diastolic. The average heart rate was 80 beats a minute. And we're now going to ask you to light up. I can tell you that his heart rate has already risen to 95 beats a minute. His blood pressure has risen to 144 over 93. The reason for the rise in blood pressure is related simply to the effect of chemicals working on the walls of the arteries, causing vasoconstriction. The arteries actually get a little bit smaller. Therefore, the blood pressure required to push blood through the arteries has to go up. The heart has to work harder. And when the heart works harder, the heart goes quicker and the blood pressure rises. So there's good evidence that smoking increases heart rate and blood pressure dramatically and quickly. There's good evidence that it increases the risk of heart disease and cancer. Heed the evidence. The evidence is there for all to see.